Hi everyone, it's Cindy from Cindy's Art. I'm going to slow some things down and we're going to paint this rock painting, and I'm going to do it in a series. And today I want to show you how to load up your paper with water so you can create the sky background in a very light, easy way. So I started off and I'm simply sketching the rocks for this picture, and I want you to see where those are at. And I darkened up the first few frames of this video so you could see these pencil lines. Then I'm going to take a flat brush. I'm using a Neptune, it's a Princeton brand, Neptune 1-inch flat brush. And I could have used a 2-inch brush on this, but what I'm doing is laying water down on my watercolor paper. This is Arches 140-pound paper. It's made out of cotton. It's going to hold water. So when I am prepping the background of my sky, I am putting almost 3 different layers of water on it. I'm letting it soak in to where, on this painting right here, you can see that there is a sheen from the water. That's going to soak in and that sheen's going to be removed. So when I am going to go ahead and start to paint on this left side, it was dry. I couldn't see the sheen, and I just want a tiny bit of that sheen. It looks a little bit shiny. I'm using a silver black velvet brush right here, size 14. And I'm going back in and just wetting this sky, and then I'm going to go ahead and quickly begin to apply my paint colors. And I'm using Holbein paints. At this point, I'm just going to name off some colors for you because if you've got a pink, you've got a purple, a light turquoise. This is almost a cerulean blue that I have here that mixed with a little bit of Veriditer would create this color. And in the painting, in the picture, you can barely see the sky, but if you downloaded the reference photo, you would see there's a little bit of pinks, there's a little bit of this darker blue, there's a little bit of purple and a little bit of pink. And all I'm going to do is gently lay those colors in. Because that paper is wet, it's not going to stay in a straight line. It's actually going to start to blend in to the background and blend into one another if I put them close to each other. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to watch these colors blend in, and I'll be grabbing a little bit of pink, a little bit of a darker blue, which is an ultramarine deep blue, and I'm using only a tiny bit. A lot of this is that Veriditer and cerulean, and at one point it almost looks like I have a little bit of a peacock color in here. Here comes some of the pink, and all I'm doing is sketching this out. I'm not worried about where the clouds are inside of the photo reference. What I'm doing is just looking at the background of my painting, and I just want to ask myself, where do I see these clouds? Just play with it, just practice. The worst thing is that you could goof up. You can turn the paper over once it's dry and start again. On Arches, the front part of the paper is bumpier. The back side is not as bumpy. There is a difference, but you can do it, especially if you're practicing. So as I lay these colors down, I want you to know too, that paper still is wet. Well, one of the things that I'm doing while I'm adding in paint into these various areas is that I have water in that brush as well as paint. I'm not loading my paintbrush up with a ton of water, but I do have some in it. And as I put my brush down on this paper, it actually is reactivating the moistness, and it's keeping that paper pretty wet. As I'm working with these colors, my paper is tilted towards me slightly. And because of that, the paints are going to be running downward. In a second here, I am going to take this board, I'm going to let it dry, but I'm going to flip it upside down. And the reason why is because I want the paint to run the opposite way. I don't want all of that dark blue coming down towards that horizon line. I want it to push back into the other areas. So I do that by flipping the board upside down, and I'm going to simply let it dry. As it did, this is what I got, and I did not touch that sky for the rest of the time that I painted this ocean rock. So I'm going to show you the ocean rock picture one more time. This picture is what we're going to be working on, and I will try to do 2 videos a week on this one, so that way you can have some fun and work on it as we move along. So thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Let me know what you think about this video. I want it to be practical and helpful, and hopefully it was. I'll see you next time.